Hi there, this is Mo Espinosa from the band Persefone. And to the question how we end up in the Napalm Records, I think the answer is that it has been a really long process that started literally 20 years ago. Ever since we have been releasing albums, and we always try to do our best to give the best product and the best result to our fans. And as a result, we end up signing with BTSL Productions with Spiritual Migration, and also in AATHMA. And with those two albums, we did a really big promotion, and we toured all around the world. I think we did a couple headlining tours in Europe. We did a headliner tour in US. We've been in Japan and a lot of festivals like Wacken, Brutal Assault, and all that at some point called the attention of some big labels. So once we finished the album, Metanoia, we started looking for a suitable label so that they could release the album. And it was fast for us to realize that Napalm was really interested on the band, and that it was the right choice, because we are not a small band anymore, but we are not a big act either. So we need a label that helps us grow, and that wants to pay attention to us a little bit, so that we can work with them to make this release the biggest success possible. So it was easy to decide to go with Napalm, and we are really happy about it. Yes, I think Metanoia is the result of more than AATHMA. I think that it's the result of Spiritual Migration and AATHMA combined in some ways. I'm not really sure if we are more prog than in other albums, because one of the things we aimed in this album was to sound tougher, with with the drums more in your face, with big guitars, and everything should sound huge. And we of course we still have that prog side in the band, but we also have a death metal, a very important death metal side, with Mark singing, with his growls and screams. And I think in this album, of course, there are some prog parts, and even we have one song that it's sung only by me. That it's really proggy, but we also have Mirkaba, for example, that is really harsh when it comes to metal parts. So I think that in the as a result of AATHMA and Spiritual Migration, we went down to the path to try to combine both sides of the band, both being death metal and prog metal. And when we try to be death metal, we try to be really death metal parts, and when we are going prog, it's like all over there. So that's why probably you would feel that there's a lot of prog in there. No, I don't think so. The recording of Truth Inside the Shades was the result of us wanting to make some kind of gift to the fans, and actually to ourselves, because it was 15 years ago that we released that album, and we wanted to celebrate in some form. So what I think that Truth Inside the Shades, this recording is it was like a test drive, We got new material in the studio. We learned a lot of stuff all these 5 years back regarding music production and music recordings, and we wanted to put that in practice, So I think that Truth Inside the Shades was the perfect field, to test all that stuff and to know what should be improved and we can do better. So in the end, most of the stuff that we did in the in Truth Inside Shades, we applied some of them to the new recording. So it's more than an influence. I think it's just it's a test drive actually. Living in Andorra, it's quite an extraordinary thing. It's a really, really small country, and it's pretty unknown out there. And somehow, yeah, it inspired us in some form because we have this incredible surroundings. We are surrounded by nature. We have the mountain right there with snowy mountains in winter and really, really nice sights in summer. So it's really inspiring, But one of the other thing that happened about being from Andorra is that back in the day it was not such a good thing because we received answers from labels telling us that being from Andorra wasn't cool enough, and that people could think that I think I remember somebody telling us that if we were somewhere in Africa and something like that, and that was unknown, and it was really uncool to be from here, and nobody could expect good music coming from here. So that was really, really a long time ago. I mean, probably the first album or probably the second, something like that. But at some point, we started to have some recognition here, and Andorra started to be an exotic thing. So it recalled people's attention, and we've been showing the country to our fans, even with our last two video clips that we did. We did both of them here in Andorra. One of them is in Pic Maya. It was like 2,600 meters high, really, really early in the morning with a lot of cold. But it's undeniable that those images are incredible in Catabas's video clip, and we also recorded in Mirkaba also at night in the mountain, which it's another nice thing to show. So yeah, in some form we got inspired with it, so it's pretty cool. What are we more eager to do? Live performances of the album to be released. At this point, right now, I feel that I'm willing to get the album released. Probably a little bit more than playing live, but not so much more. Because, it's like we've had this album finished since July 2021. So it's been a long time ago that we have the album, and for us, it feels like a bit old, something like that. But now that the people is starting to know about the album, and we have already three singles out there, and I guess that once this interview is out there, the album will be out there. So I think it's great when people starts asking you about the album and telling you their opinion about the songs that we are releasing, and it becomes exciting. So we are 2 days from at this very moment that I'm recording this, we are 2 days from the release of the album, and I simply cannot wait anymore. But regarding live shows, we had this tour with Obscura that we were supposed to do in November. That couldn't happen because all the COVID thing and all the restrictions that were back in the day, and it was really down for us because we've been like 2 years since our last live show, so we are really, really willing to go out there in the road again. So by now we are playing in April in Denmark in Royal Metal Fest, I think it's the name of the festival. And then some other festivals might appear, but the other thing that it's already announced and it's sure is that we will be on tour with Obscura in September, and I think that for in that moment the COVID restrictions will be something of the past, and we will be allowed to do that. So we cannot wait.